Both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They go play action here on first down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Going deep this time for Miller. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Out of his end zone, Kaiser. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good-headed scheme going.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. And he spins past him and into space. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Let's go! White 90!
Throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's Hines. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here we go! White 90!
They'll throw here. Kaiser. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November. already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Kaiser now. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Set. Blue landing.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Going up top for Miller. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On play action, they'll throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up a throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Second down, Kaiser. The left side completion to Jones. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
Here we go.
Kaiser on 1st down. He's got it. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the 1st half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Rolling to his right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now a toss play. It's Hines. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Nyheim Hines, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Packers add on to their lead. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And they will stop him short of the marker. Well, there is a flag here, but if this is on the offense, and I think it is, they'll obviously decline it. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Here we go. Red 38.
Kaiser now on 2nd down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Three down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This will be taken short. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Pushing his way through. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Dumps it off for Geis. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now a handoff to Richard. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On third down, it's Cohen. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go!
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Kaiser to throw it. Going for the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's a give to Richard, and that absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. On 3rd down, that's Cohen. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go! What? None!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Third down, here's Geis. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 3rd down, that's Cohen. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, we just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try to run with Hines. And some strong running. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. And his kick is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Again, it's Richard. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
On 3rd down, that's Cohen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Green Bay, they pick up win number 7 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh.